So later on today, there will be another PlayStation State of Play broadcast that's going to be on YouTube at around 11 p.m. UK time. And on the PlayStation blog, it talks about updates and news on more than 20 upcoming PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR2 games from studios around the world. And it's going to be a 30-minute stream. So it'll be very interesting to see how many, if it's exactly 20 games, because it says updates on more than 20 upcoming games. So is it 21, 22 maybe? We'll have to wait and see. But out of those 20 or so games, how many are going to be PlayStation VR games? Because for me, I feel like the PlayStation VR is sort of on life support really at the moment. It has got games. It has got some good games. I've seen gameplay of quite a few of them. But the problem is the PlayStation VR is just too expensive. It's another price of another console on top. It's another like £500 on top of what you're paying for the PlayStation 5. So, unless they start doing some sort of bundle now that the Pro's going to come out, and they start doing a bundle of, doing the Pro on its own and then doing the original like PlayStation 5s with a VR or something for a little bit more than what the I don't know. I honestly don't know how they could bundle it or do it now, because it just feels like it's such an expensive add-on. I mean, maybe when PlayStation 6 comes around, they can try and do something then with like a VR3 or something, and have it so it's kind of either comes with it in some sort of way, or you only have to get part of it because part of it already comes with it. So you have like the camera and the controllers or something, and all you need is like one extra part or something to finish it off, so it doesn't become like another price of a console on top. But I don't know, but it just feels like every time there's a state of play and they talk about VR games going to be in it, it always kind of makes me feel like, oh God, how many of these games are actually going to be games that the majority of us can play? Because, we kind of, most of us don't have the VR. So, it's kind of, I'm just hoping that it's not going to be half of the games are going to be VR. I don't think it will. I think it'll probably be less than 5 or 5 at the most. But I just don't know what kind of games it's going to be, to be honest, because the way it says from studios around the world, I don't know if that means third-party studios as well as first-party like Sony studios. I'm kind of hoping that it means that it's basically just sort of first-party studios and any games that maybe are exclusive to the PlayStation 5, because I don't really want to be seeing any more gameplay or updates on games that we've already seen way too much about already, that are not exclusive to PlayStation anyway. PlayStation now need to show some things that are like specific to PlayStation, and maybe something that shows specificness to the PlayStation Pro, because at the moment all games are either playing on PlayStation 5 and being upscaled in some sort of way to make them look a bit better on the Pro or run faster. Whereas what we need to see some games that are made specifically for the Pro, and then the graphics and stuff downgraded to work on the other PlayStations, so that you actually get the full experience of the Pro, instead of it just feeling like there's slightly more pixels or runs slightly faster or something like that. It's a bit more sort of bit more stable. So I don't know if there'll be anything like that, because all I keep hearing is Naughty Dog are not gonna bring out another game until PlayStation 6 and all this kind of nonsense, and I don't know if that's true or not. And I don't know if there's going to be new announcements for games at this state of play, or if it's only updates and news on games that have already been announced. There's rumors of remasters as always. But like for Horizon and like the first Horizon and Days Gone being remastered, so that there are rumors like that it's going to be, for this state of play. If that's the case, then I kind of understand the Days Gone part, but only if there's going to be, at some point, either at this state of play or soon, an announcement about Days Gone 2. Because I think that's something that they could show, is like a Days Gone 2 running on the Pro, and then showing us a side by side of Days Gone 2 playing on a Pro and on the regular PS5, and there being not like a massive difference. I don't want massive differences anyway, but more so than what was shown when they were showing when they announced the Pro, where they showed gameplay of normal PS5 and then Pro PS5, and they had to zoom in on things in the background to show that it's a little bit blurry on the PS5, and on the Pro you can see eyes and things, and no blurriness on things in the background, but no one's looking that close. Everyone's looking at the things that are right there, like in focus, the things that are the main things on the screen. You're not looking at things right in the very background and then magnifying it 20 times to see if it's blurry. You kind of look at it, but you're looking at what's there. So I don't know, but they need to show at this state of play really something that's coming up between now and Christmas that's going to sell the Pro in some sort of way. Because right now I feel like there's the only people that are going to buy the Pro are scalpers and people who are collectors and want to collect that 30th anniversary edition, which looks nice, by the way, but there's only going to be 12,300 of those. So those will be super collectors and scalpers who will get those. But the regular Pros, who's actually buying them other than people who have, who buy everything, anyway. So it's kind of like either to collect it or just because they want the latest anyway, and the latest and best of everything. So they're already gonna buy it. But for everybody else, like people like me who don't see what the point in spending that kind of money, even to sell your PlayStation 5 and be able to get the Pro for about £300 or 350 or something once you've traded it in or sold it or whatever, you've still got to pay another console fee on top to get the Pro. What is the point of people who have got a PlayStation going up and getting the Pro? So, I feel like they need to show something, and I think they will show something. They'll be showing some sort of game that's going to release, or it's either about to release or it's going to come out very, very soon, that shows like the power of the Pro, and that it'll still run on the regular PlayStation 5, but it might just not look as nice, and you're gonna be locked at like 30 frames per second, and there's like it's locked at 30. And the graphics can be upscaled slightly or something, but you can't. There's not really any improvements there. But the Pro, you can have the high ray tracing on, and you can have all this extra stuff on, and you can have the 60 frames per second. And I think that's probably what they might end up showing at some point. But I think because this is only going to be 30 minutes as well, I think with 20 games, that's only just over a minute for each. So it's really kind of like a trailer, like an average length kind of trailer. And I'm kind of hoping that there's going to be some sort of update on the Wolverine game. And what I would like to see is some sort of Resistance, Fall of Man, either remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, of the original ones, and like a collection. And have that, and or Killzone, the original ones of that as well. But I'd also like them to maybe announce something for a new one of either Resistance or Killzone. because I feel like kind of PlayStation's missing a sort of first person shooter game now, and we haven't had a Resistance game for since PlayStation 3, and we got a Killzone game at the start of PlayStation 4. So it's kind of like, why are we not getting those? Because they were still popular, they were selling, and also I'd like them to bring back Warhawk, and then they turned it to Starhawk, like when they brought out the sequel of that. But bring back Warhawk, like, either a remake, remaster, or just a new one of Warhawk. And what else? I'm trying to think of other games that I'd like them to kind of announce, but I don't think there'll be many like new games announced. I think it's more going to be along the lines of games that we kind of roughly know about already, games that are already out from years ago being remade, remastered, and maybe one or two games that maybe we don't really know anything about that might get sort of something. But it'd be interesting. Because this is all or nothing kind of almost for PlayStation now, to kind of sell the PlayStation and the PlayStation Pro over the Christmas period, and this is kind of what will kind of do it for them. And I think Xbox are kind of doing bits and pieces, their own things and stuff, and pushing their bits. And there's a lot of talk about the Switch 2 about to be announced, and release dates and all this kind of stuff, and they're about to do their kind of their Christmas, up to Christmas kind of thing now. So it feels like this is kind of what will sell the PlayStation stuff over Christmas. So it's kind of got to be good, basically. So we'll I guess we'll find out. And maybe if anyone's watching this, they just kind of like maybe let me know in the comments below what they think will be some of the 20 games that are updates or news on, or what they would hope for the 20 games to be.